This is a speculative concept video exploring a hypothetical 2026 Ford Model T EV pickup. It's not a real product announcement, just a thought experiment imagining how Ford might reinterpret its oldest icon for the modern EV era. If you're watching this, you're in on the ride as we blend a dash of history with a lot of what-ifs about future tech, design language, and everyday practicality. Now, let's dive into a world where the Model T's spirit meets the cutting edge of electric pickup engineering. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love vehicles that tell a tale while they hustle you down the road, you're in the right place. Today we're stepping into a fictional yet plausible future, a 2026 Ford Model T EV pickup. We're going to explore what such a revival could look like, how it might feel to drive, what tech it could offer, and where it might fit into a crowded EV pickup market. Remember, this is purely speculative and born from a love of cars, history, and forward thinking. So let's imagine together. First, the look. The Model T name carries a century of automotive myth, a story of accessibility and simplicity. A 2026 incarnation would want to honor that heritage while embracing a clean, contemporary silhouette. Picture a rugged, squared-off pickup with a low, slender grille that nods to the old chrome oval grilles but uses active aero panels to optimize efficiency. The body might be a blend of lightweight aluminum and high-strength steel, with flush door handles, a subtly arched beltline, and a short front overhang to keep approach angles friendly for off-road work. The cabin would be welcoming but modern. Large glass, thin A-pillars for visibility, and a practical, no-nonsense stance that says, "We mean business, but we're friendly about it." The colorways could lean into heritage-inspired hues, deep oxblood reds, forest greens, and classic grays, paired with modern two-tone options and a satin metal trim to give the truck a timeless yet contemporary vibe. The interior would strike a balance between simplicity and sophistication. The original Model T was famous for its minimalism. This revival could honor that spirit with a modern twist. Expect a clean, driver-focused cockpit with a broad digital instrument cluster, a central touchscreen for the infotainment system, and a set of tactile, mechanical controls for key functions to give a tactile, reassuring feel. Materials might emphasize sustainability and durability. Recycled textiles, responsibly sourced leather alternatives, and durable, easy-to-clean surfaces. A minimalist approach to switches and knobs could be complemented by subtle ambient lighting to create a calm, focused cabin environment, especially useful when you're miles from civilization and need to keep things simple but effective. Under the skin, imagine a versatile electric architecture. A dual-motor setup delivering all-wheel drive for confident grip in diverse conditions would be a solid baseline, with a performance tune that offers a satisfying 0 to 60 sprint in the mid-range for a pickup of this size. Think around 5 to 6 seconds, with ample torque to move a full payload without drama. The drivetrain would emphasize efficiency and reliability. A robust inverter, a battery pack sized for practical workdays, and smart thermal management to keep performance steady no matter the weather or miles of towing. Speaking of batteries, let's talk range and practicality. A 2026 Model T EV pickup would need to be useful as a work vehicle, not just a showpiece, so a usable range in the 260 to 320 mile class seems reasonable for a mid to full-size pickup with a focus on affordability and day-to-day utility. We could see multiple battery options, with a mid-range 75 kWh pack as a baseline and a larger 100 kWh pack for longer days on the job site or on long road trips. The emphasis here would be fast charging capability. DC fast charging at 150 to 350 kilowatts, supporting a 10–80% recharge in roughly 20 to 30 minutes under optimal conditions. Smart charging features could allow the vehicle to precondition the battery on a schedule, use peak rate charging when it makes sense, and leverage vehicle-to-grid capabilities to support home backup power in a pinch. A key part of any pickup is capability, and a modern Model T EV should be able to handle work truck duties with confidence. Payload could be in the 1,500–2,000 pound range, depending on the exact configuration and battery choice, with a towing capacity in the 6,500–7,500 pounds bracket. This would keep it competitive with peers in the segment, including mid-range offerings from established brands, while leaning into the surprisingly practical aura that a reinterpretation of the Model T could lean on. The bed would be designed for real use. A flat, wide cargo area with integrated tie-downs, smart bed lighting, an available power outlet to run tools on site, and a movable, easy-to-clean bed liner. Optional features like a deployable ramp, integrated air compressor, and a bed-mounted solar assist or roof rack might be offered to give tradespeople more flexibility. What about on-road behavior and comfort? Here's where the Model T's ethos could show how a modern pickup can feel approachable and intuitive. The chassis could use a tradition-forward approach. A steel ladder frame with modern suspension. Think front double wishbone or multi-link with coil springs, rear leaf springs or adaptive air for tuned comfort, giving the ride a composed, truck-appropriate demeanor. We'd expect precise steering, a forgiving ride in everyday use, and a quiet cabin at highway speeds thanks to good sound insulation and engine bay acoustics tuned for a refined electric drivetrain. Regenerative braking could be dialed in to feel natural, with adjustable levels so drivers can emulate one-pedal driving if they want, while also providing gentle deceleration for those who prefer a more conventional feel. Technology and safety would be front and center. Inside, a high-definition instrument cluster would deliver clear, useful information on battery state, remaining range, estimated energy consumption, and route planning with charging stops. An infotainment system, call it Ford's latest version of Sync, would feature an intuitive, updated interface, with wireless smartphone integration, OTA updates, and easy access to vehicle settings. Voice control would be polished, enabling hands-free control for navigation, climate, and media. Advanced driver assistance would be standard in a practical, value-focused package, likely including adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and a robust parking assist system. As for more futuristic autonomy, A Level 2 to 3 capable system with hands-off highway driving features could be offered as an option, designed to assist on long highway stretches but requiring the driver to stay engaged, appropriate for the era and semantics of a 2026 vehicle. From a design and branding perspective, the Model T EV pickup would need to honor Ford's heritage without becoming a museum piece. The interior could gently echo the past with a few nods. Dial-like window switches or an analog clock embedded in the dash is a tasteful homage, plus a modern instrument cluster that keeps a retro-inspired display style. Exterior trimmings might include a subtle, retro logo placement, perhaps a modernized font that hints at the early Model T script but remains clearly contemporary. To keep the price accessible and the appeal broad, the design would avoid flamboyance. In favor of durable, timeless cues, something a buyer can feel confident owning for years, not something with a short-lived fashion moment. Pricing and market positioning would be critical. A speculative base price around the mid-40s of thousands, say, mid-$40,000 to low $50,000 in the U.S., could make the truck accessible to a wide audience including first-time truck buyers, small business owners, and traditional Ford loyalists who appreciate a modern reinterpretation. Higher trims could push into the mid to upper $50,000 range, depending on options, battery size, and the level of luxury and tech included. If Ford pursued fleet sales or tradesperson-focused configurations, there could be a durable, economical work trim that emphasizes payload, towing, and reliability over luxury. The propositional market would be a mix of personal buyers who want a practical, characterful truck, and businesses drawn to a robust, serviceable electric workhorse with a distinctive story. Let's consider the competition landscape. In 2026, the EV pickup market is lively. Offerings from established brands, plus emerging startups, all vying for practical capability and compelling software. The hypothetical Model T EV pickup would differentiate itself with a brand legacy tied to the idea of democratizing mobility, a focus on durability, straightforward usability, and a design language that nods to the past while embracing the future. It wouldn't be the flashiest truck, but it might be the most approachable for a consumer who wants a dependable, easy-to-own EV truck with a story they can tell at the campsite or the job site. In a world where many trucks emphasize speed and high-tech theatrics, the Model T EV pickup could lean into reliability, ease of maintenance, and a calm user experience that emphasizes what matters on the job and on weekend projects. Now imagine a real-world test drive scenario for this speculative truck. We'd take it through urban streets to feel the daily practicality. The quiet cabin when you idle in traffic, the snap of torque as you merge, the ease of maneuvering a reasonably sized box in tight spaces thanks to good visibility and compact exterior dimensions for a modern pickup. Then we'd push it onto a highway to test straight-line performance, wind noise, and highway cruising comfort. Finally, a stretch of dirt or gravel road to see how a modern chassis deals with light off-road work and rough surfaces, while the suspension handles bumps with composure and the all-wheel drive keeps the truck confident. In each scenario, we'd note how the living thing, engineering, design, software, works together, From the way the doors shut with a reassuring thunk to the way the bed lights illuminate the work site as the sun goes down. A few practical notes on ownership experience. Serviceability would likely be a strong point of this hypothetical model. Familiar Ford service networks, parts availability for common wear items, and a warranty structure that helps owners feel protected as they invest in a new electric powertrain. OTA updates would keep the truck's software fresh, bringing improvements to battery management, charging speed, and perhaps even new driver assist features over time. The owner's manual would be concise, with a focus on how to maximize range and efficiency, smart charging routines, climate control management to minimize energy use, and tips for preserving battery health on extended job cycles. For families and daily drivers, an interior that's comfortable and practical, easy to clean fabrics, generous storage cubbies, and thoughtful cargo solutions could be a real selling point. If you're watching this and thinking about the feasibility of a concept like the 2026 Ford Model T EV pickup, you're not alone. The idea blends the romance of a historic brand with the reality of today's battery tech, charging networks, and consumer expectations. It's a dream of continuity, honoring the Model T's mission of accessibility, while recognizing that modern buyers demand range, value, and modern convenience. The exact path Ford would take is never guaranteed, and this is a creative exercise rather than a forecast. Still, there's something compelling about imagining a vehicle that, at its core, wants to carry people and payload alike, with the quiet confidence of an electric drivetrain and the comforting reminder that history can guide the future without constraining it. So, what's the verdict on a hypothetical 2026 Ford Model T EV pickup? It would likely be a vehicle that celebrates simplicity in a world of complexity, pairing a purposeful, work-ready footprint with the sustainability and technology of the electric era. It would invite a broad audience to experience an everyday adventure mindset, a truck you can rely on for daily tasks, weekend trips, and everything in between, all while telling a story about where we came from and where we're headed. It would be a product of careful balance, the heritage of the Model T, the practicality of a modern pickup, and the promise of electric propulsion. If you enjoyed this speculative exploration, drop a comment below with your favorite imagined feature, or tell me what you think would be essential for a modern-day Model T pickup to feel authentic and useful. Would you want a retro-inspired interior with modern tech, or a more understated interior that prioritizes durability and ease of use? Do you prefer a strong focus on payload and towing capacity, or a broader emphasis on efficiency, charging infrastructure, and software features? I'm curious to hear your takes. Before we wrap up, a quick reminder: this is a thought experiment, not an official Ford announcement. The world of automotive design moves fast, and public imagination often sparks real conversations about what brands could do next. If Ford ever chooses to honor the Model T legacy with a modern EV pickup, it would be fascinating to see how they translate history into today's engineering, materials, and consumer expectations. Until then, we can speculate in the best possible way, by imagining, discussing, and celebrating how far electric mobility has come, and where it might go next. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this speculative look at a 2026 Ford Model T EV pickup, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss future deep dives into concept cars, historical inspirations, and the evolving world of electric vehicles. Share this video with a friend who loves history and horsepower in equal measure. If you have ideas for another historical brand reimagined as a near-future EV, tell me in the comments. I'm always up for a good what-if, and I love hearing your takes on how classic design language could evolve into the electric era. See you in the next video, where we'll keep chasing the curiosity that makes cars exciting. And who knows what other retro-futurist dreams we'll explore next.